Honest reactions and reading for the first time of the Bible. I am Mountain Smith and I'm hanging out at the beach again because this is a good spot to read and it's quiet and a beautiful day, as I hope everyone has a beautiful day. Nothing rehearsed. I am getting into Genesis 46 now, just reading the Bible from the beginning to the end. And Genesis 46, the title says, Jacob's Journey to Egypt. And I've got a bunch of crows with the seagulls hanging out here. So hopefully it's not too distracting, as well as the ocean. So I know in Genesis 45, Joseph revealed his identity, finally just had all that relief and let go. I mean, he wept so loud that the Egyptians heard him and they went back and told the Pharaoh. And that's just a massive release that Joseph ended up having, a weight lifted off his shoulders, dealing with the trauma from his brothers, being separated from his father. But he also did tell him that, hey, you know what? This is God's plan. I was meant to be here because there was going to be a famine. So I was meant to help the Pharaoh and help make sure the crops are good so that way everyone can live. So that's, I mean, the fact that he even thought about that and said that is pretty amazing. I don't know. So let's get into it here. Genesis 46. As always, I've never read it, I'm just reading it for the first time. So join me. Jacob's journey to Egypt. So Jacob, the father of Joseph. So Jacob set out for Egypt with all his possessions. And when he came to Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. During the night, God spoke to him in a vision. Jacob, Jacob, he called. Here I am, Jacob replied. I am God, the God of your father, the voice said. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for there I will make you I'm going to start that one again. And I'm going to mess up a lot of words all the time. The names, places, I'm going to start that all again though here. Jacob's journey to Egypt. As always, nothing rehearsed. We just go with it. So Jacob set out for Egypt with all his possessions. And when he came to Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. During the night, God spoke to him in a vision. Jacob, Jacob, he called. Here I am, Jacob replied. I am God, the God of your father, the voice said. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for there I will make your family into a great nation. I will go with you down to Egypt, and I will bring you back again. You will die in Egypt. You will die in Egypt, but Joseph will be with you to close your eyes. I knew it. I freaking knew it, because he said before, he wanted to see Joseph before he died, and now God is telling him he is. So Jacob left Beersheba. I think it's Beersheba? I'm not sure how to say that. So Jacob left Beersheba, and his sons took him to Egypt. They carried him and their little ones and their wives in the wagons Pharaoh had provided for them. They also took all their livestock and all the personal belongings they had acquired in the land of Canaan. So Jacob and his entire family went to Egypt, sons and grandsons, daughters and granddaughters, all his descendants. That is quite a, I guess we could say like a giant wagon train. These are the names of the descendants of Israel, the sons of Jacob who went to Egypt. Oh gosh, we are going to end up with, I am going to mess up all these names. I'm going to read them, but I'm going to mess them up. This is going to be tough. And I think, you know, it's really important to know all these people to understand the stories. I totally forget all of them though. This is reading the Bible is difficult. All right. So these are the names of the descendants of Israel, the sons of Jacob. Little bugs and gnats out here too. Of everyone who went to Egypt. Reuben was Jacob's oldest son. The sons of Reuben were Hanoch, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Simeon were Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jakin, Zohar, and Saul. Shaul's mother was a Canaanite woman. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Judah were Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah, though and Onan had died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. The sons of Issachar were Tola, Pua, Jashub, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun were Seret, Elon, and Jaleel. These were the sons of Leah and Jacob, who were born in Padan Aram. In addition to their daughter, Dinah, the number of Jacob's descendants, male and female, through Leah was 33. 33, okay. The sons of Gad were Gad? I said God, but it's G-A-D, were Zephon, Hagi, Shuni, Esbon, Ere, Oradi, and Ereli. The sons of Asher were Imnah, Ishvi, and Beriah. The sister was Sarah. Beriah's sons were Heber and Malkiel. These were the sons of Zilpah, the servant given to Leah by her father Laban. The number of Jacob's descendants through Zilpah was 16. The sons of Jacob's wife Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. Joseph's sons born in the land of Egypt were Manasseh and Ephraim. Their mother was Asinah, daughter of Potipharah, the priest of On. Benjamin's sons were Bela, Becher, Ashbel, Ger, Naaman, Ehe, Rosh, Mopin, Hapin, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel and Jacob. The number of Jacob's descendants through Rachel was 14. I feel like I really need to have like a lot more children. They got so many descendants going on here. They got 14, 33. I mean, come on here. The son of Dan was Hushim. The sons of Naphtali were Zahel, Guni, Jazer, and Shilem. These were the sons of Bilhah, the servant given to Rachel by her father, Laban. The number of Jacob's descendants through Bilhah was 7. The total number of Jacob's descendants who went with him to Egypt, not counting his sons' wives, was 66. 66. In addition, Joseph had 2 sons who were born in Egypt. So altogether, there were 70 members of Jacob's family in the land of Egypt. 70. That's a lot. Descendants, his grandsons, his granddaughters, everybody. That's a lot. He's got a big wagon train of 70 people. All right, so now Jacob's family arrives in Goshen. As they neared their destination, Jacob sent Judah ahead to meet Joseph and get directions to the region of Goshen. And when they finally arrived there, Joseph prepared his chariot and traveled to Goshen to meet his father, Jacob. Okay. When Joseph arrived, he embraced his father and wept, holding him for a long time. Finally, Jacob said to Joseph, "Now I am ready to die, since I have seen your face again and know you are still alive." That's a lot to think, like how that is actually a lot to think about. I know it's just a few words of what just happened here in one little paragraph, but to really break that down and think about it, that would be an emotionally distressing time. The joy and there's so much going on there. I mean, there's deep hatred or sorrow, but there's so much joy as well as maybe Jacob is finally feeling like a burden is lifted off his shoulders, knowing that his son is alive too. That's a good thing. Yeah, it's difficult to think about, actually. It's just, there's a lot to think about. Okay. And Joseph said to his brothers and his father's entire family, "I will go to Pharaoh and tell him, 'My brothers and my father's entire family have come to me from the land of Canaan. These men are shepherds, and they raise livestock. They have brought with them their flocks and herds and everything they own.' Then he said, 'When Pharaoh calls for you and asks you what your occupation, you must tell him, we, your servants, have raised livestock, all our livestock, as our ancestors have always done. When you tell him this, he will let you live here in the region of Goshen, for the Egyptians despise shepherds.'" Ooh. We do have to remember here, Joseph is underneath the Pharaoh. Technically, he was a slave. I mean, he's been the ruler, and the Egyptians have accepted him. But, he's warning his father, his brothers, he's warning the entire family, like, you have to be a servant here. It's just not going to work if you're not.